There is a mass spiritual awakening occurring. And if you have been thinking about how you could get on your life path, there is no better time than the present to get on that. We are going to talk about what's going on right now, and Archangel Metatron is here to facilitate, talk to us about it, bring us some messages. So stay tuned. Hello, and welcome to the Charmed Life podcast. This podcast is all about magic, metaphysics, mysticism, and the unconditional love of the universe. And I am your host. My name is Tricia Carr. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are here together. This is a live podcast or, live stream. And I am excited to be here with you. My name is Tricia Carr. I'm a spiritual teacher, channel, intuitive. And I had this feeling to come live today to allow Archangel Metatron to come through. So as I said, we're live. This is going on my Charmed Life podcast as well. So if you haven't been on the podcast before, go find it. There is how many years? 8 years of content up there with a lot of people as guests. And I actually have coming up in September, which is about a little over a month, September 2nd, from when I am actually delivering this, Daryl Anka, Channel of Bashar, is going to be on the podcast. So find the podcast if you would like something to help you to expand spiritually, whether it's the solo episodes like this one or other people that I have on the podcast. And also, like I said, this is live. So if you're here live on the YouTube or Facebook feed, drop a comment. Let me know that you're here. Say hello. And also, I'm happy to take questions and also give intuitive insight. We are here to talk about the time in which we are. And Archangel Metatron came through the other day, yesterday or day before yesterday. He said, well, it was day before yesterday, but actually it wasn't until yesterday that I kind of noticed it as Metatron coming through. Metatron is the archangel who oversees the, many things, but one of the things is he calls forth people onto their spiritual path or their soul mission. And so, hello, Tracy. Hi. And hi, Kate. Oh, thank you so much, Kate. So wonderful to see you. I'm saying hello to those of you who are listening, to the people who are here live. So do come live to the podcast when you can. You have to join my newsletter to really know when that's going to happen, or just follow me or subscribe to YouTube. You get the announcements there. So Metatron calls people forward on their path. And I have an intuitive ability psychic development program coming up this Sunday. And so I'm sure this is part of the reason why this message is coming through, because hi, Lisa. Lisa Ray is here. Because I was asking about, what's going on with this program that I'm teaching starting on Sunday. And is it a good time, and what do people need to know? And the thing that is coming through is that there is, as I said, there's a spiritual awakening happening. So if you have been thinking about either getting on or expanding in your spiritual mission, and even to the point of opening your intuitive abilities or using them in some sort of service, that there's no better time than now. And Metatron told me that people want assurances or a reason why. And so I have two examples that help us to understand a reason why. The other thing that, and I'm going to say that in a second, but the other thing that Metatron wants us to know is that we are aligning with the ability to manifest miracles more than ever. And especially because of this mass spiritual awakening, and because, from the concern of Metatron, of calling people forward, those who would be way showers, those who would be here to help to expand the light on this planet. Am I on YouTube? Okay, good. I was making sure. Pardon my digression there. That the part of that reason that miracles we're aligning with that frequency is because of being able to support the people who are here to show the way for others. And so it's really cool because he's like, look, you get the benefit of having a really great life. Oh, thank you. Okay. So I'm partly listening mediumistically, and I might slip into channeling here in a moment. But just so you understand, when I say, "Oh, okay," I'm acknowledging Metatron. That's how I function sometimes. So he said that there are times in our history. He says there are times in our history where the person who is the way shower, the person who is helping others to move forward, that the life was really, really challenging. And he said there are those times, and there are those archetypes and people who are emblematic of those who are helping to move forward a new spiritual era. And then are also just our assumption that that's what it was like for people. He's like, of course, that's what it looked like for Yeshua. That's what it looked like for Jesus. Not only the very end of his life, but, as I've said before, I don't know. He didn't even have showers then. Like, I don't want to like look up to that life. And not that they cared. They didn't know. But actually, no, they're saying we bathed in the sea. Okay, so stop being so judgmental. Anyway, but there are examples of spiritual leaders whose lives, the narrative of it seems to be either really hard or it ending in martyrdom. And so Metatron is saying, yes, of course, these are true things that have happened. And maybe some of the reasons that happened was because it was more of the time. That was where we were in history. But also he says, how about all of the ones that didn't have some tragic story or something very difficult? So we've made a lot of assumptions and sort of highlighted because the human primitive mind, the ego mind, is and has a negative bias. And so it's looking at certain things to find the negativity, not because we're necessarily such negative people, but because we think if we look at the negativity, then we can avoid the negativity. And that's not what's true, especially in this actual example that we're talking about. If we're looking at a negative narrative example of historical past of a spiritual leader or someone who is helping to show the way, and we're saying, yes, leader, because if you're a way shower, then you are a spiritual leader. It's not only someone who's like the head of a church or the head of a religion or the, famous or whatever you want to say. There are many people who are leading spiritually. So get comfortable with that, if you will. At any rate, that if we are looking at past stories of spiritual leaders who ended in a negative or even just had negative stories, then yes, we're focusing on a negative thing, and it is creating a negative result, which is I don't then step into the leadership in my role in this life and my mission, right? I am focusing negatively and I'm having a negative outcome. So focusing positively commands or unfolds a positive outcome. So the fact that if we can drop some of the assumption about other examples and narratives of spiritual leadership or people following their spiritual path and seeing that as a downfall, as a martyrdom state, we can drop that and then also embrace the other thing, which is of this time that we are now, because we are having a mass spiritual awakening. Thank you. I will remember to talk about that too. That we are having a mass spiritual awakening, and that there is a big call for spiritual leadership, spiritual showers of the way. There is a big call for it. So that he's saying that we are opening up a dispensation of an ease and a swiftness to be able to connect with miracle frequency. And we're going to talk more about, or even attune more to miracle frequency as we continue here. But even just hold that in your awareness right now. Oh, the frequency of miracles. We're going to even talk about what miracles are. We're going to talk about miracle frequency. And that that is available because it is just required. The support is needed. He also wants us to know on a practical standpoint, which is so very kind of, a non-physical being such as an angel to remember, because he's like, well, I got to deal with y'all a lot, so I get it, that in our practical world, there's just like a lot of opportunity, meaning like career opportunity or positions or whatever, for people to actually support themselves by dedicating their whole lives to being in their spiritual path, being guides and whatever your modality might be. It just stands to reason with the big spiritual awakening, there's going to be a higher job quantity of those positions. And so he says, however, as long as, of course, it's not just like, oh, you have to follow through and you have to continue to be disciplined and dedicated, and that all you have to do is keep going, make the choice, hold the intention, keep going, and continue to improve yourself and be on your own growth path, your own personal growth path, in order for you to continue to expand in your mission and, to be able to make use of that miracle frequency. So let's talk about what miracles are. Miracles also get a bit of a bad rap, he's saying, because miracles sometimes are wished for, prayed for, or something like that as a way to rescue us from our own challenges or from the things that are actually serving us, which our challenges are. So sometimes we are looking for a miracle because we're afraid of doing the work. And so much compassion to all of us when we're in that place. We're uncomfortable, we're frightened, and we just want it to get better already, right? Can't there be a miracle? And the fact of the matter is that if a miracle did come and rescue you from a place that you were uncomfortable with, and the place that you were uncomfortable with is there to help you to grow, then you would have a new circumstance, but you would be the same person in it. And the example of this that comes to mind is those in many instances that we've all heard the tale of the people that won the lottery and it ruined their life because they got that kind of a miracle, or maybe even call it a false miracle, right? Some big thing happened that they maybe were hoping would rescue them from whatever their situations were, but it turns out they had their same situation just with a lot more cash, and it actually made the situation light itself on fire even more. So take that example and imagine many of us are, we're at the place, we're old enough, even if you're just 20, you're old enough to be able to see that something that was a challenge to you, you moved through it, you learned so much, you gained so much strength, you got so much wisdom, and you really needed that. And that if that had been taken out of your path, it would have been a disservice to you, even if it was extremely uncomfortable or even painful at the time. Now, on the other hand, we pray for miracles for things that are, of course, we deeply desire. It might be because we love someone and they're suffering, and we pray a miracle for that transformation rapidly. Understood. So that is, it's not to say that we only pray for miracles out of the wrong intention or the misunderstanding. However, it wants to be acknowledged that miracles do sometimes have a bad rap in the sense of how we are calling them in. So what a miracle is a rapid transformation of a scenario. And in the sense, it usually means having a robust set of resources become available. And that could be, imagine what resources are: life, money, time, relationships, friends, anything that we would consider something that is beneficial and gives us something in this life. That there are times where that is, one has done the work and is at the right growth opportunity to receive a lot of that. And then in fact, receiving that deluge, receiving that miracle calls forth more work. So we take back to the metaphor of the person who won the lottery and subsequently at some point said, winning the lottery was the worst thing that ruined my life, worst thing that happened to me. You see, they were not actually being rescued. That wasn't the true opportunity the universe was offering. They weren't being offered the chance to actually circumvent their problems or their difficulties. They were actually gaining a whole new set of challenges to live up to or to grow their character up into. And so, you see, it is the sense of be careful what you wish for, in a way, because as you step into your spiritual leadership or your way showing capacity, you are now in a position of having responsibility. As you call in the miracle frequency, have a rapid transformation, or receive rapidly a deluge, a dispensation of resources, you're now put into a context of, again, more responsibility. You are up for the task. If you want to hear this, if you want to feel this, if you will move forward in it, you are up to the task. So, the miracle frequency is becoming, they're just showing me like it's almost as if a comet is approaching, and it is coming to be able to service us, to tap into it so that we can just keep moving forward. If you step into your spiritual mission, onto your path as a spiritual leader, thank you, you'll do that next, that you can tap into the miracle frequency, and you just need to keep going. And so this takes me to wherever you are in your mission. Maybe you are already a spiritual practitioner, but you may be feeling like you want to expand, or it may be time for you to implement some kind of new growth, something new and expansive for you. Or maybe you're at the place, this is the two examples that I have for you of the people who have signed up for the intuitive ability psychic development course that's starting on Sunday. It's 4 Sundays in August. That you might be in the place where everything in your life is going, and it's going in a set way, and things are fine, and things are good, and you've got family, and you've got career, and you've got things working, but there's this feeling within you. There's this urge that's always been there. You have experienced, spiritual phenomena. You have your intuition pop in every now and again. Life is moving, and it's good. And you're at this point, and this is one of the people who signed up, where she said, I'm really at this place where I know that my intuitive abilities are meant to be a significant part of my path, and I don't know how or why, so I just need to start somehow. And I'm like, bring it, let's do it, let's start it. So she signed up, and that's honestly that's my story as well. When I had my spiritual awakening, now over 10 years ago, my life was humming. I had a career that I thought was the one, and it was at that, at the point that this all started to happen. It was, by all accounts, the one. It had a lot of leadership for me. I was making money. I had a career path, a growth path. It was creative. It was really for the me that I was then, it was great. And so when I had the spiritual awakening, and then I wanted to study and practice and go to classes and development circles, and then start to practice to give readings. And I'm like, why am I doing? And there was a part of me that's going like, why am I doing this? I don't even know why. And I was like, I don't know. I just got to keep doing it because I love it so much. And it's just like, I could not do it, but there's also a part of me that's like, I can't not do this. And I didn't know why. I couldn't see why. But I just moved forward from what is that passion or that drive within me. So that's one of the examples of, you don't maybe know why, but it is time to follow that if you will accept that call from Archangel Metatron. On the other hand, there's another person that, actually this person has not signed up so far. However, and I'm making a Mr. Potato Head of this identity because it is something that occurred in a private session. But this person is actually in a sort of uncomfortable place with the career and things like that. And said, I've been thinking about starting a healing career, but if this other career starts, if I could just get these couple of things, like if I basically could get a minor miracle in my career, the muggle one that I already have, if I could just get those couple of milestones, then I'll start my healing career. And Spirit came through very clearly and said, no, you won't. Because if you get those couple of things that you're calling milestones, or the things that you think you if I get those, then I'll feel supported enough to start the other thing. They said, no, you'll get even more embroiled. You'll get even more involved in the career that you want to actually move away from. It will be more of a distraction from you starting your healing career or your spiritual leadership path. So, two interesting ways that Metatron pointed out to me that are just situations. Maybe you're somewhere in between, but again, you might be actually somewhere in your spiritual leadership or your path as a way shower, and it just might be time for you to expand and bring on some new things. That's what happened to me also. I've talked about this on the podcast a couple of times recently, but in September of 2023, which is less than a year ago at the time that I'm recording this, I had a minor spiritual awakening, or I mean, not so minor, but anyway, I woke up in the morning and heard very kind of intensely, I wouldn't say loudly because it was clairaudient, but I heard clairaudiently, if you don't have a growth mindset, you will catch a downward spiral. And it was spoken in a very kind way, as if that you would, but it was like the truth was, you don't have a growth mindset and you have caught a downward spiral. And I was like, oh, yes, that is what has happened. So we're never done expanding. We're never done approaching spiritual awakening. And part of the reason we're never done having spiritual awakenings is because everybody else on this planet and this human race are having spiritual awakenings, and you are down the path a ways compared to some other people, and they are using you as the guiding light. They're bringing to mind too, I literally just finished a session right before I went live now, and I'm not telling this person's business, but if this person is here, hi, that there was also this sense of the pressure that this person was feeling as they were moving forward into their correct spiritual path. This person is definitely a way shower. This person is definitely here to help to facilitate transformations and, help people to be a spiritual leader. And this person was just feeling like, I don't know where to go next. I don't know what to do next. And, I feel like I don't have everything, all the tools and skills or the direction, and was, feeling that overwhelm of it. And so Spirit came through and said, this might be helpful. Oh, it was Metatron? Okay, I didn't say that to the client that time, but it was Metatron said, listen, I think this might be helpful for you. What if it's not only about you? And the person received it like as it was intended, as a relief. What if you don't have to be feeling all of the pressure, and instead you can just focus on the motivation of the fact that there are people who need you, who need your vision, who need your compassion, who need the development that you've already invested in yourself and in your life, and they need that, and they need you to just be on that path right ahead. And then we got the metaphor of Moses in the Bible, and Moses is leading the Israelites through the desert. And, so he's leading them, and it's like, okay, come this way. And then he's like, hey, everyone, I'm going to go off on my own for a while. I'm going to go pray, talk to God and everything. And then Moses goes off by himself, and he's like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. Oh my gosh, I don't think I'm helping them. They're like hurting each other. They don't get it. And blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? Like, and he's having basically breakdowns in his little one-on-ones with God. And then he goes back and he's like, okay, everyone, let's go and do the thing, because it wasn't, while he had this space where he was hard and he was breaking down and it was overwhelming, and am I doing the right thing? Am I doing enough? All the things. But at the end of the day, it was about them. It was about, or it was at least not only about Moses, it was a lot about these people, the Israelites. And it was about helping them to come out of their enslavement. He led them out of slavery through the desert. So what if it's also not about you? What if it's not entirely about you? That can bring some relief and help us to not give so much credence to our overwhelm or our doubt or our fear or our worry. What if it's not about you? Oh, you needed to hear that, Javier. Javier said, "Ooh, I needed to hear that." And I know you, and you are on that path. I'm so glad to hear that. So nice to see you here too. Nice to see you. And hi, Courtney. And then Jamie says, excited for this out. And hi, Angela. Hello. And Stephanie's here too. And Victoria. Hi, everyone. And Lori. Oh, all of my loves, all the loves of my life. So that is what Metatron is here to say. And, okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. I'm listening to a couple of things that I'm going to share. So first of all, check in the description. Please do think about if it's a part of your path of resonance to come to this Sunday as I am recording this. It's on August 4th is the first day. Intuitive ability, psychic development. Some people have already done it when I did it over a year ago, but it's going to be something more and different, and it's a thing. So there's actually the level 1 is on this Sunday. Level 2 is 2 Sundays after that, but then there are 2 practice days as well. I highly encourage you to just come to both level 1 and 2. I split it into 2 in case people only want to go to one or the other, but I really want you to consider coming to all of them because I want to be with you, and I want us all to be together, and I want us to take advantage of the fact that as we come together, when we come together in like a consciousness experiment, which is what a class is, we grow exponentially by being with one another, by witnessing one another, by sharing with one another. And I know it feels vulnerable, but some of the people who are here right now, hi Holly, being one of them, hi Holly, that if you haven't been in spiritual development class and company ever or in a while, it's beautiful and it's wonderful and it's home. And the community is just, that's the stuff. That's where the good stuff is. So there's also that. And then there's Astral Mastery, which is my ultimate intuitive expansion program. And we're kicking off a new enrollment period of that with this intuitive ability development, which is starting this weekend. So that is to say that if you sign up for Astral Mastery, that you get the intuitive psychic development course. It's the kickoff of it. And also that there's a level 2 of spiritual practitioner training next year. It's like level 2 to the Astral Mastery, but it's really teaching spiritual therapy. So, I'm excited about that. And I'm feeling overwhelmed about it, but it's not about me, right? I'm feeling overwhelmed about it because it's a big deal to me. It's a big part of my mission. And Holly says, I experienced so many synchronicities with every class. It's been so much fun. Yeah, right? It's so wild. It's like, it's very much in that category of, you can't write this shit. Okay, so where do we go now, Metatron? Okay, thank you. So one thing that he wanted, they told me about, and we're going to talk about this tomorrow in class at Astral Mastery, but they wanted me to share it here too, is that we talk about the fact that there is a mass spiritual awakening happening with the human race. And in that, there is basically, when we're having a lot of awakening, a lot of expansion and healing coming in, then there is also the kickback of the things that we need to release. If you think about it just in the sense of being an individual, you have a belief, and that belief was constructed in a way to keep you safe. And therefore, it's actually constructed out of the energy of survival. But then you grow and you become, more of who you are, whatever. You just move through life. And now this belief doesn't suit me anymore. And it's actually a limiting belief. And so when we want to release or remove or expand beyond a limiting belief, because that belief is actually composed of survival energy, when it gets threatened by you wanting to release it, it actually fights back because that's its whole job. It's to survive. It's to help you survive, and therefore it needs to survive. And so if you can expand that awareness to our collective, and there's a lot of difficult stuff happening right now, a lot of difficult stuff. And there are clearly a lot of systems that need to be abolished. There are limiting systems or habits, collective habits, and mindsets and systems of judgment and separation and subjugation of some people, and also things like harming our planet. And the thing is that it seems really hard, right? It is really hard right now. But again, think about it as the system of negative beliefs or limiting beliefs that are being threatened. And that's why they fight back, because they were put in place for the purpose of survival and composed very much of survival energy in and of itself. And so this is what causes people, like, for example, a high school friend posted her support of a presidential candidate, and there wasn't any explanation. She didn't write anything with it. She just posted the picture of the person, and she then posted after that, like her next post was, "I just lost 2 friends." Now this person she doesn't use Facebook or social media for anything but social stuff. She doesn't use it for business or anything like that. She just uses it for friends. So the people who are friends on Facebook are her friends. And I'm a high school friend. That's how I'm her friend. And she's like, "I just lost 2 friends because of me just posting a picture of the candidate that I'm supporting." And she's like, "I didn't even say anything about it. I just posted the person's picture. And one of them even blocked me." And so the fact that the people who blocked her, and by, their gestures at least, said, "We're no longer friends," they are in such a state of fear and of losing the beliefs that they have, or feeling like a white knuckle holding on to the beliefs that they have, that if they can't even tolerate someone else having a different belief. They can't even tolerate a conversation about what is helpful or holistic for all of us, or at least the other person. That's what that is indicating. "I'm supporting this candidate. You need to not exist in my life anymore." That is a heightened state of fight back about something that feels threatened, meaning the belief that this person has. They can't even tolerate someone else expressing a different opinion. That's a shaky state that we're in. So the tension that we're experiencing, the fear that we're noticing or experiencing, this is, if we want to try to reframe it, it's a good sign, okay? We're actually moving more into a space of connection, of honoring one another, of, again, being able to click into a miracle frequency for those who are just going to keep moving forward in love and connection. And you may not feel like, you might feel vulnerable. That's the best way to say it. You might still feel vulnerable, and that's okay. Actually, that's a strength. That's a big power for us to continue to move forward, still feeling vulnerable, just like Moses did, going and, submitting all of his worries and doubts and fears to his private sessions with God, and then going back and doing the thing anyway. His vulnerability made him sensitive in his position of leading. And so if you like say, "Well, I'm not confident," let's just say I feel vulnerable, and know that that vulnerability is a strength. And the thing that they showed me and they wanted me to tell is that as there's this mass spiritual awakening, yes, there's going to be a big pushback from that which is being released or outseated. And that there is, in addition to, thank you, that's interesting. They're showing me, in addition to what we said at the beginning, where it's like this comet is coming to be able to hover over the earth, so that those who are here to show the way can tap more into miracle frequency. There is also a crystal package of information that is deposited, if you will, within the earth. That is also, it's basically like a supplement, is what they kind of say. It's like the earth has this crystalline supplement package of energy transmission and information that is helping her to be resilient and strong while this chaos and this discord is going on the surface of the planet, in the human race. And so with the fact that we have some, it's basically as above and so within. And that is the support of light that is coming in. And any worry or pain that the worry that others are who are unwilling or seemingly incapable of releasing their limiting beliefs, that is us just holding space for them and just trusting that love knows its way and light, which is awareness, knows its way. And that our work is just to hold a compassionate space for that transformation to occur. Oh, that was a lot that I just said. I'm going to take a sip of water, and I want to hear from you guys who are here live on the feed. Do you have any comments or questions? Or anything I can support you on if you would like a reading of any kind or intuitive insight. You can go ahead, because that would be really fun to do. And let me see. Okay, thank you. So I'm going to let Metatron come through. Please go ahead and post any requests on the feed if you have any. And I'm going to just see what Metatron wants to bring through. You have heard me knocking on your door. And the door that I speak of is the door of your heart. And even as you might sense your own heart beating or tune into it at this moment, we ask that you sense and accept that corresponding with that is the knock on the door for you to walk through. Now, is this a calling? You may see it as that. Is it the blueprint and the plan that has been there all along? Well, yes, that is as we see it. And we just ask you to tap into the knock on the door and allow it to be opened so that your heart can be let out, let free. You see, there is this sense that humans have that as they move more into the thing that seems so important to them, that they will be more challenged or more vulnerable. But in fact, as you are moving from your heart, you are always more free. And it is the ultimate goal, the ultimate experience that all of the humans are reaching for: freedom. The only reason that you desire to have this thing or that relationship or this situation is that you might feel love and that you might feel free. And so we encourage you at this time that as you allow the door to open and you allow your heart to become freed and you simply follow it, that any perceived challenges that you face were there anyway. And in fact, if you're following your heart, if you're being guided by the passion and your creativity and your creator power within you, that as those challenges come along, that although you can't see it now because you're on a different timeline, these challenges are even easier than they would have been. They were there anyway on the path for your growth, for your strengthening, for your learning, for your augmentation of your character and of your wisdom. They were always, these challenges, they were always planned on your path. But as you've been following now the guidance of your heart, then it is actually the path of least resistance while there are challenges, albeit. So imagine you're on a different timeline, not as much following your heart, therefore not as free. And the same or similar challenge was already going to be on the path at that point, but it was much more difficult because you were not in the fullness of your strength, of your fortitude, of your capacity to create, of your capacity to love and move through and with the power. As it was said through this channel many times recently, the only true power is love. And shall we demonstrate that to you? The only true power is love. Because as Creator sought to become Creator, Creator then created. And that very moment of creating is to allow the resonance of love to occur. And so the only true power is what you experience as love. So in any way that you see others being disempowered, or you feel that if you become more vulnerable, you will be less powerful, we just encourage you, call and summon the courage of your heart, to be in the attuning frequency that the only true power is love. And with this, we ask you to join in attuning to miracle frequency. And we ask you, if you are in the space and the place for it, to allow yourself to gently alter. Simply take a breath and allow the inner light to shine brightly within you. Allow your inner light to shine even more. Call it up, summon it, or allow it. Allow your inner light to illumine. Allow it to open your full sensing, the fullness of your perceiving, your seeing. And allow yourself to see and perceive, as was demonstrated, as if there is a gentle, quiet, brilliant light moving from some other part of your galaxy, of your universe, to move just over your planet. And now this is hovering over. Your channel called it something like a comet, but we'd rather call it something like a consciousness vehicle, a light vehicle. We may call it something more like your vehicles that your brethren of the stars travel upon. This sphere of light, as it may be perceived, is not just a sphere. At one point of perspective, it seems like a sphere, but in fact, it is a vortex. It is akin to a stargate, and it is delivering frequencies, many millions and billions and trillions frequencies that stream down to your planet. Now, these frequencies have a monopole. They have one side of a polarity. And they can find their opposite polarity within the individual beings. You are an entity that holds a monopole of the like frequency. And as you allow your inner light to be coaxed up, this monopole then falls into alignment with one of these frequencies designed precisely for you. And the polarity is completed, and you tap into this miracle frequency. Now, as was stated, the miracles that humans recognize cause a sudden shift, a transformation. And what is typical is some sort of immediate and spontaneous and rapid deluge of resource, that which can be sourced to move forward. And so this calls into you another challenge. It begs of you to welcome in more of your greater self. By being given something great, a greater facility of energy and resource, you must receive it with your greater self. And so summoning your inner light in order to make that polarity click into the miracle frequency that is designed precisely for you, and staying in it, simply continuing to summon and stoke and coax up your inner light, and allowing this and the love of your heart to be freer and free, that which you experience as passion, your spiritual passion, to just continue to move you forward. Keep moving forward, dear ones. Keep moving forward. Keep moving forward from the space of your courage. That is the bravery of your heart, the love. That is your direction. That is your path. That is your purpose. Now, if this frequency that was designed for you misses on one moment, it will go to the earth and it will be received and it will benefit even so. And it can even be benefited you by absorbing up through your grounded connection to the earth. So there is only ever support. There is only ever blessing. And we just invite you to experience the blessing directly, literally, and to allow it to overflow through your path. We love you so dearly. We see you and your light. And we commend you, for you are always doing the work of love. And so please do take away from this transmission that there is nothing to fix about you. There is nothing broken within you. Simply that we would love to call you forward so that you can experience your own greatness even more, and that you may witness it as you allow it to be of service to others as well. We love you so much. And we see you as the warriors of love that you are. All right. Hi, everyone. That was cool. That was really cool. That felt really cool to me. Angela, okay, just if you would like a reading, if you would like some, just go ahead and give a little information about you, what you would like to tune into. That just gives us a little bit something more. Ooh, I got hot in that too. And Holly says, I think this goes for whatever side of the political spectrum you find yourself on. We're exiting duality, which is the two-party system. Yes, Holly, I agree. And that's why I didn't mention what candidate at all this person posted about, because I think we could imagine either one of the candidates or any of the possible candidates and people reacting that way, right? Yeah, agree. Hi, Jenny. Yeah, just give us a little something to tap into. Love to bring through something for you. Looking for guidance or any messages if you feel called. Sure, Victoria. Yeah, just give us a little something to tap into. Open to miracles, to love expanding. Yes, Kate. Thank you. I agree. I agree with Kate. Thank you. Lori says, thank you for connecting me to the miracle frequency Metatron. Yes, Lori. Thank you. Beautiful message. Tracy says, thank you. Yes. Angela says, experiencing some issues in my marriage as I rise up and do the work and become farther from my husband. By the way, those of you who are here either now or listening or watching on a replay, please know that when we come together and someone asks for a reading, that in fact it is calibrated so that we can receive something from it, even if it isn't our specific question. That's how creative spirit is. So, Angela, marriage. Okay, got it. Okay, so Angela, in this uncomfortable time where one partner is moving forward and there's a rapid growth scenario, that the most important thing for you to do is to stay on the work, because that if it does cause a complete separation, if the bond is severed, then that both parties are free then to be who they truly are even more. You see, it's like was said in the message, that as you allow your heart to be opened, that you become freer. And so okay, thank you. Once again, calling for the message, that this challenge was always going to be there. You know, if you move forward in the work, assuming you're, of course, talking about your personal and spiritual development, that there was always going to be this. And so that you are, by continuing in your work, handling it the best way possible for you and for your partner, and that it is a gift to your partner to be more of who you really are. But Angela, I also feel that we're going to move through this, like they say, it's a rough patch. It's a rough patch, if you will. And I'm going to pull a card while I'm finishing up this last bit. If I can find my cards, because I want my unicorn cards. It's a rough patch, and that there is a coming together in mutual respect and compassion. And if you can just continue to respect and have compassion for yourself and for your partner, that it will basically, that will be the theme that quickly manifests itself as evident. Yes. I'm asking if there's a space of time, and they said it's best not to do that, that they would rather it just stay more available, open and available to miracles. Okay, thank you. Said earlier in the transmission, as you hold a positive focus, then you have a positive outcome of whatever that would be. And that just continue to, okay, thank you. They want to tell you also to regulate your nervous system, continue to just, then that means to breathe. And in fact, I'm even feeling like, do you already do breath work, or am I being guided to suggest breath work to you? Because this would be so healing for you, but it would also be healing for this relationship and help to calibrate and expedite it into the correct configuration that it is finding on its own. And so your card is expansion. Spread your wings and soar. Share your message and shine your light. Show the world what you're made of. Well, I think that's a good encouragement to just keep moving forward. And just a personal story there. I had my spiritual awakening. My husband and I had been together for 9 years at the time, and then all of a sudden this was happening. And so we went through a rough patch. We are still together, and it all worked out perfectly. But it's the thing that helped us to shift out of the rough patch was us coming together. And he expressed that he was actually, I thought he thought I was nuts, and he was like, no, that's not it at all. He's like, I'm just, you're having all these experiences and things are shifting for you, and I'm not having that. So I'm just, what if I can't have that too, then it's going to bring us apart. And I said, no, I don't need you to have it too. Just, accept me. And I said, I'm not changing. I'm just becoming more of who I really am. And we both sighed a big sigh of relief when I said that. It came through out of my soul, apparently. And he said, well, that's all I've ever wanted. So if you're becoming more of who you are, that is all that your partner really wants. Even if that's not what's expressed or what's known on this level, that's why we choose one another. That's why we make soul contracts, because we do want one another to be more of who they are. And I mean, sometimes being more of who we are means we separate. And I'm not saying that's what I'm seeing for you. I'm actually, there's a cloak, there's a veil about that kind of outcome. It's not my business. It's not for me to see or to have any exposure to, because it's something for you to cultivate in the right way for yourself. But at any rate, that we can trust that on the soul level, we really want one another to be more of who we really are. And that as we allow ourselves to be more of who we really are, then we are holding the space, a resonant invitation for the other to be more of who they really are as well. I hope that's helpful. You do breath work already. Okay, good. Yes, we could all always do more. So good. I'm glad that resonates for you. And so Angela says, thank you so much. You're so welcome. Thank you. All right, Victoria, current employment and financial situations, feeling transformation, but at a bit of a loss. Victoria. All right, I'm being guided to bring the pendulum just so that it can do some calibrating. Okay, so Victoria, it just seems like you're outgrowing the shoe. That's what that feels like to me. And let me take this down so you can actually see what the pendulum is doing too. Well, hide comment. Okay, so I'm going to put this over here so you can see what the pendulum is doing. So the pendulum wants to move counterclockwise. So it is releasing energy. But the thing what I'm seeing is the shoe's too tight, the shoe's too small. So what I see is a transition. I'm seeing it's like two hills, one going this way and one going the other way, and them overlapping. And so this is the sense of doing more of your solo work, more of your entrepreneurial stuff, more. And honestly, I'm just going to say charging more. Allowing your real value to expand. You have real value in everything that you do. I mean that more unique value, right? And the richer is what I want to say, the more potent value. And so really starting to see the second thing as more of the primary thing. Now, the career situation, that is the shoe getting too small, it's not, doesn't seem like it's going away, and the pendulum is starting to do something else now. It doesn't seem like it's going away right now, but there is the sense of divesting some of your energy from it, and now we're pulling in energy. The pendulum's going clockwise now. Divesting your energy from it a little bit, which doesn't have to look like much on paper. It's more about on paper, you are increasing and advancing the solo work and the more potent, unique value that you are, and that you're doing everything that is in integrity and everything that is appropriate and all of that, but where you allowing your heart to be in the right place, which is the work that you do, that we all know about. And so you're just drawing in that energy, and the pendulum is coming still now. So I hope that was helpful. Day says to Angela, I've been there. I continued my work and opening up and surprised my partner. Also opened up more. Just wanted to let you know you aren't alone. Thank you, Day. That's beautiful. Thank you for that support. Right, exactly. That happened to me too. My partner just opened up more, and, it's just really beautiful. So, let me know how that was for you, Victoria. And so let's see what Holly says. This resonates for me too. I'm working on finding myself while navigating a relationship. Yes, thank you. Absolutely. Helpful, Angela. Good. And Lori, I'm shocked that my husband is finally shifting and resonating more in my ways. It's good for both of us. Isn't it rad? It's so cool. It's so fun. Actually, and I just got a, Victoria says, thank you. You're so welcome. Thank you. I actually just had this conversation with someone else who's a mentee of mine. And specifically, it was more like this person was saying, hey, what do I do about the fact that, I'm in such a positive manifestation mindset and my partner doesn't really see it that way, like doesn't, still more in the worry category and doesn't get the manifestation mindset, and, how do I deal with that? Because that's like, we're sharing this manifestation. This is for us, we have this together. And I'm like, yeah, I know, that's familiar. I feel that too. And but the fact is that we continue to hold our positive outlook, our positive frequency, and just holding a compassionate space for them. But it's not like someone else's, wherever they are on their path, cancels us out. The dark doesn't turn off the light. And so, whether we're talking about manifestation or we're talking about spiritual expansion and growth, I look at it also as that I'm always behind someone else and they must be going like, this chick is dragging me down. So, we all just keep moving forward and we're supporting one another in that. But it is really cool. Like as Lori said, and also as Day said, it's really cool then when our partner is also having these big shifts and changes. And so, yeah, really cool stuff. I think I saw another request. Hi, Monica. Nice to see you. And I saw another request for a reading, but I don't know where it went. All right, sorry if I missed you. Oh, no, here we go. Jenny, open to career guidance on a job search. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Jenny. I didn't want to miss you because I felt it, but I couldn't find it back where it was. Okay, so for Jenny. Whew. Okay, Jenny, first of all, I'm feeling the sense of if you can also use, because I know you said you're on a job search, and then sometimes there is, okay, thank you. They're telling me chill out on it a little bit and see it as some of the busy, let's just call it that. Some of the busy work that sometimes we do when we're in a job search, and we start to even feel a little more desperate, like I'll just put my resume there, I'll just submit there, I'll just try to do this. Because we want to prove to ourselves or even like this unseen, authority that we're trying hard enough. And so just come present and really be very intentional and purposeful about how you are doing the seeking. And even it might be better to reframe it from job search to job alignment, finding the right alignment. And yes, there is this still, if you're doing the process that's kind of typical of putting out your resume and everything, and not all of those will land. Some of those things, of course, they wouldn't all land. You would have then 20 jobs or 90 jobs, however many people submit. That some of that is just practicing the frequency, almost like a ritual. So the way that magic, so thank you. They're saying if you can allow it to be a job alignment rather than a job search, that might help us a little bit. And then also that in the ways that you are in the process of putting your alignment out there, that see it as a magical practice or a ritual. So how a magical practice or a ritual benefits us is that it helps us to hold an intention and then harness our energy to that intention. So it's a positive holding of an intention, and then it's also focusing our frequency into that intention. And then, repetition, the law of repetition helps us to harness the intention even more and letting the intention to actually move throughout our being and to shift us from the inside out. And that's how magic actually works, from the inside out. Oh, cool. So they're showing me that's actually what they were saying about how there was that package or crystalline information that has been placed into the earth so that she can be supplemented, so she can be supported as the human race is going through what they're going through. So anyway, okay, thank you. So just to recap, if you can think about your job alignment practice as a magical practice, then also allow yourself to be more at ease. And sometimes instead of doing some things that might be superfluous or busy work, that's actually just creating a bit more static to that frequency of the intention that you're holding. So there's the attuning aspect of it. Is there anything practical to bring through for Jenny? Okay, so thank you. They're giving me a timeline. There's something, if you're giving me a timeline, is it good for Jenny to have it? Okay, thanks. So they're giving me a timeline. It looks like 4 to 6 weeks. And they also just want to say that a reminder that the other parties of, whatever the job or, co-creators, that they also have to get ready, they also have to align. And so that can also help us to take the pressure off of whether I'm doing it right or doing enough, right? The other aspect of it, it's not all about just what we're doing or not doing correctly. There's also development happening with the people that we collaborate and co-create with. So, all right. So how about I pull a card for all of us, and then we will call it a stream. And okay, thank you. I want to remind you. Oh, Karen says, hi, just joined, sending love from Sweden. Appreciate you lots. I would love to receive any messages if that's possible. Okay, well, before I pull our final card, then I'm going to pull this card for Karen. If that's how you pronounce your name. I may be saying it with too much of an American accent. If you're in Sweden, I might be saying it in a way that is not quite to your ear. As beautiful as it could be pronounced. So I apologize for that. So I have a card for Karen from my dragon deck, and then they're saying I can pull a card from my dragon deck for us collectively, and then I'm going to pull one from the unicorn deck too. And they're telling me there's that one. All right. Karen's card is Emerald Dragon. Brings in healing and cosmic abundance. Ooh, y'all. Let's go to Karen's house. She's got cosmic abundance. Cosmic abundance. Good fortune is coming. This is for all of us too, Karen. Thank you for bringing this in because it's for all of us. Good fortune is coming. Let your thoughts support your divine perfection. Align with your fifth dimensional blueprint. Ooh. Oh, I'm feeling that a lot. And I love the colors of it. The emerald color, and I like this mauve kind of pink color. The mauve pink color, that's very much a Sandalphon color to me, Archangel Sandalphon. We even had Metatron in this. Actually, the green color is kind of a Metatron color too, that emerald green, like the watermelon tourmaline color. So thank you, Karen, for coming in and asking for that card. We all received it. And cosmic abundance, right? You're welcome, Jamie. Yes. Hi, Emma. Hi, Emma says, need to close the door with a current partner, even though still processing lots of divorce and religious affiliation grief. Traveling this week to meet and materialize essential agent / negotiator. Right, Emma? That's a lot. Right. Okay, Emma, I think you were in Modern Mystic yesterday, right? I should tell everyone about Modern Mystic. It is so fabulous. It is a community, and we have regular content that's coming through all throughout the week, and we have a workshop every month, and we also have a meditation, live group meditation every month, and it is only $11 a month. It's so amazing, and it's just something that I love to do. It's there now in the comments. It's on my website. It's called Modern Mystic. It's a subscription for $11 a month. You could join it for 1 month and then, not do it anymore. But of course, I would love it if you became a part of the community. But Emma, you were there yesterday. You were in San Diego. Okay, I thought so. So Emma, did you have the opportunity to do the Archangel Jeremiel life review meditation that we all did together at the end? Because if you didn't, then I'm going to be sending that replay tomorrow, and I suggest that you do it. And you can zoom to the very end. It's going to be the last 30 minutes of it. And actually, you know what I'll do? I'll put it separate on the post, so just the journey is on its own. And even if you did do that with us, I suggest you do it again. But beyond that, that is a lot, and you are strong. You are capable. And just please breathe through it. And also they're telling me to suggest that you do some heart connecting and some self-love. Mirror work is what they're showing me too. You know what mirror work is? You look in the mirror and you say, you are beautiful. I love you. You got this. You're strong. I'm here for you. I'm so proud of you. And you look into your own eyes and you say those things. And you're a mom, and I know you're a wonderful mom, and I know you say those things to your children. Say those things to you and to yourself in your eyes in the mirror. It makes me cry every time I think about that. All right. So yeah, I was telling you about Modern Mystic, but I also want to remind you of this Sunday is the Intuitive Ability Psychic Development course starting. It's an immersive full day class on Sunday. And then we have a practice day the following Sunday. And then we have level 2. And that's the third Sunday. And then we have another practice day. It's really going to be like a spiritual retreat. It really, really is. It's going to be amazing and mind-blowing. So, and if you're a member of Astral Mastery, which is the ultimate intuitive expansion program, it's included in that. And so my Astral Mastery folks, I hope y'all will be there. All right. I saw Lisa Ray. Hi, Lisa. Good. It was mid-rental car exchanging. Okay. Yeah. So go back and watch that or listen to that meditation. Thank you so much. Oh, hi. Nice to meet you. Is it Tamer? Hi. All right. So we have 2 cards that we've pulled for ourselves collectively. And our first one is from the Dragon deck. And it is Earth and Water Dragon. Ooh, you know what? Earth and water, it's mud, right? Earth and water is mud. And you know what is so fertile and so just ready to grow and to gestate a seed and flowers. Mud. Mud is so fertile. So it says, creates the foundation for new growth. The fresh start is coming with new opportunities. Nurture your ideas and harvest the abundance. And I love, again, the colors of this. Well, I just love colors, right? Like, how silly of me to say I love the colors. I just love all the colors. So it's a earth and water dragon, and he's brown with green wings, and there's a lot of field of blue all around him, and there's sparkly fairy lights all around the dragon too. So this is also reminding us, even though the card doesn't literally say us, that we have the nature spirits here supporting us, really also encouraging us to tip things over to the plane of manifestation, to the plane of materialization for those who love humans and love the earth. Those powerful partners are available to us: fairies, devas, nature spirits. So I also feel stuck in the mud. Oh, Holly. Yes, Emma. Louise Hay, you can heal your life. Yes, Louise Hay is a big proponent of mirror work. She's a great guide in that. And so then we have a second card from the unicorn deck, and the card is innocence. Take time to play. Nurture your inner child. Live with a childlike sense of wonder. And there's a unicorn, an adult unicorn with a little baby unicorn, and they are at night with the moon glowing. I'm trying to, there we go, catch the light just right. Innocence. You know, the most creative being, well, I should say the most creative human being is a child. And we all had it right. We all had it right when we were children. Play, fantasize, imagine. That's what we are creating, is what we are imagining. What we are bringing imaginal mind, spirit, energy to. So allow yourself to be in that, nurture that inner child. I hope you'll join the Intuitive Ability Psychic Development course and or Astral Mastery. We're meeting tomorrow for Astral Mastery. Oh, I should also mention that we have an Empowered Empath group tonight. So that is a course that is completely on demand with meditations and lessons, but we also meet once per month as a community. So I hope to see you in one of these spaces. I got a lot of spaces, don't I? But that's because I'm so excited to connect with people in all the different ways. And Jenny says, beautiful. Play, imagine, make magic. I'm going to have to go back and listen to this one. That was really powerful, you know, bringing through that energy and transmission from Metatron, reminding us that if you are in the place to expand into your spiritual path, there is a call for it, because we are in a mass spiritual awakening. And yet someone here, Chris, says, if there's a message from Archangel Metatron regarding what my calling is, I would love it, Chris, if you went back and listened to the beginning of this, because it will attune you to your calling. But I will say, Chris, that you're here because you are feeling a calling into probably the sense of being able to be in your spiritual expression regularly. You know, our calling is something, it's like our purpose, and our calling is a frequency that we're always on, that we're always answering. It really isn't like a job. But I think we could take away from this message that Metatron says there are jobs because there's awakening happening. But again, maybe, you know, I had the experience of actually shifting careers, but maybe you don't even need to shift careers. Maybe you infuse your spiritual work into your life and as it is, but your life will shift and change. That's for sure. That's what I could probably say. So yeah, you find other people's readings are also relevant to me. There's, yes, group resonance. I call it spiritual osmosis. Absolutely. Okay, so that's what I have for you all. I'm going to go have some lunch, and then we're going to have our Empowered Empath meeting. I know I have a couple of people here. That's in 45 minutes. And, you know, I'm just so happy to be able to connect with you all. And I hope to see you in a meeting, or whether it's modern mystic, or if it's the intuitive development or astral mastery, or just again here whenever I go live. I enjoy connecting with you so much. I'm so, so grateful for you for shining your light on our beautiful world. Thanks for tuning in. I love you, whoever you are.